You wind up in hell after you die. When you arrive, Satan informs you that it's just regular life, but you have to pick a minor inconvenience to plague you for all eternity. What do you pick? Everyone in front me on the sidewalks always walks in groups and slow time to jaywalk. No wonder you ended up in hell. I always shake too many or too few pills out of the bottle. Point as someone who works in a pharmacy. Business as usual. Then point. I always feel so proud when I pour the exact amount I need onto the tray. Especially the tiny pills like Carvedilors, or the ones that roll everywhere like pins on it. At point literally dumped 180 out to fill a 180 the other day, and it was magnificent. Point. I thought everyone had the rule. If you get 3 perfect pours in a row you get to go home with pay. My fingernails grow twice as fast, so I have to clip them more. Nail biting intensifies. Your nail biting addiction becomes incurable, but every single time you nip a nail you go too deep and can't press with your finger for about a week. W/O pain. Need to poop after showering? Never before. That's a brutal one. Nothing like finally feeling nice and clean and then a poop coming in and ruining everything. Point. A good bidet is a literal life changer. No longer do I need to worry about making sure I poop prior to the shower. Less toilet paper use is a nice bonus. By the way guys, if you are enjoying this video so far, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It will help us out quite a bit, and if you don't enjoy the videos in the future anymore, you can always unsubscribe. Let's get back to the video. USB cables are always lined up wrong on the first try. Point. So absolutely nothing changes. Satan got outplayed on this one. This is your 15th time living this life, and every time nothing changes, you die, and you pick the same inconvenience for the next life, much to the amusement of Satan. You are caught in a cycle of putting the USB cable in the wrong way. Only you can make the change. Point. I feel more like I live several lives, and every time Satan has asked me to add on an inconvenience, so now I live a life with about 500 different inconveniences happening every week. My wallet always has too much money to close comfortably and is uncomfortable in my back pocket. Edit. I never expected this kind of response to my comment. Thank you everyone for the upvotes, the awards, and the suggestions of looking for a new wallet and keeping it away from buttocks. Big brain plot twist. It's just a bunch of useless coins. Edit. Thanks for the silver, and I speak from experience with the coins. Bit of a disappointment to pick up a thick wallet only to find a bunch of rusty pennies and stained dimes. I'm automatically signed out of my social media account. When I exit an app I intentionally sign out sometimes to discourage myself from using social media. Then the app has too far. Have I made my own hell? Am I in hell? That's how I escaped Facebook. One day I somehow got signed out, and after weeks of not wanting to look up my password I was free. Every time I go to the toilet for a sit down job, the toilet seat is a little cold. Point. Dude, that eases my anxiety. I feel like I'm rubbing with someone else when they are warm. Yeah, I feel the opposite would be worse. Every time you sit you feel the uncomfortable warmth of a stranger's. Also, sometimes random short hairs. All clocks I can see are all shifted forward or back some random amount of time at the start of every day. Maybe one day, all clocks are a minute fast. The next, maybe they are all 3 minutes behind. Step 1. Get a Google Home. Step 2. Hide it somewhere you can't see. Step 3. Ask what time it is. Edit. Or just ask your phone that's in your pocket. He said all clocks. It's hell. Make it some specific observance thing where everyone else sees the right time. But whenever Rob observes anything that tells the time, it always slightly shifted fast/slow. When you go to pay you're always a dime short, but there's always a dime on the floor to be picked up. You don't have any fingernails, and if you take too long to pick it up then Mike Tyson hops out from behind a random bush to punch you in the face. Point. That is oddly specific. The same thing that's plagued me in this life. Forgetting the one item I went to the store for in the first place. Point. I theorize that in marketing make you do this on purpose, so you buy all kinds of useless. Point. Okay, I've come to accept I need a shopping list app. I have embraced using Amazon Alexa for reasons not only limited to this. I have to wear shoes that are just slightly too small for my feet. That's torture on a Promethean level. TBH. I have a pair of Heelys that are a half size too small because I was stubborn and thought they fit close enough. Need to size up because they don't have half sizes, but they are absolute torture. Fun when wheeling, but when walking it's absolute suffering. Had to walk 3 miles in 100-degree heat once. Never again. I fell in love with these incredible dress shoes in size 13. Alas, I'm a 14 and they don't make them in 14. So that's $350 my stubborn ass wasted just sitting in my closet for 15 years virtually unto shade. Those are big feet. Big feet. I get 3 ads between every song on Spotify. I would just stop listening. That's a major annoyance for me. Or it plays recommended music after one song on a playlist. Imagine listening to your favorite song on Spotify while on another tab and suddenly it switches to ad music. Then I won't listen to Spotify and listen to another app. Minor plague. Once every 7 billion years I'd get a mosquito bite. Can I have that one? Mosquitoes seem to love my blood, so one bite per 7 billion years would only be a good thing. Genius. But this does end up happening an infinite amount of times. Since eternity never ends, I can live with that. People throwing $100 bills at me for 1 minute every day. It can get annoying as hell. Okay, so are we talking like casual tossing or peeps rage hucking wads of cash at you? Full blown $10,000 cellophane wrap money bricks directly at the face, 1 minute of every hour, with no prior schedule, and no let up at night time. They could show up at 7.02, then not again until 8.59, then again at 9.10. You just live in perpetual fear of the money man coming to assault you with cash. Make it worse? The cellophane is so tightly wrapped that you can't get into it, and you are just left with a growing pile of money that you can't access. A big fluffy cat constantly trying to sit on me, near me, lick my face, general cat affection stuff. Sure, it'll be slightly annoying when I'm trying to work or sleep or whatever, but think of the benefits. Well, do I have the cat for you? Trust me, having the cat follow you constantly and meowing and clawing at your legs to be picked up, and then you pick him up, he cries in your ear because now you should also be petting him, will drive you crazy. My method of payment fails often enough to be a slight problem. Only have cash? Store now only takes debit. Debit card no longer reads. Credit card declines for no reason. Power outage while paying. PayPal is down. Money removed from accounts due to minor billing error. Stuff like that. But I can still use a second method of payment and it never happens in a manner that can complete over not going to get evicted because my bank didn't send my rent to the landlord, buying medicine for someone really sick, those kind of things. Honestly, I think I'd spend a bunch of time asking about the rules and what constitutes a minor inconvenience, and Satan would say, "Ooh, you have anxiety. Never mind. Go ahead. Haha, relatable." So can you give me 3 examples of what you mean? Are you mad at me? Are you absolutely sure this is the rule? Is there a handbook somewhere? I just want to see it. Nothing opens correctly. For instance, all the can openers are dull. All potato chip bags are made out of adamantium. Car doors are always stuck on the first try. Door handles are wet with something that's too viscous to be water. Opening condiments automatically forces a third of the condiment out, as if it were pressurized. Every time you go through airport security, the person in front of you does absolutely nothing to prepare before reaching the scanners, and then proceeds to look totally surprised at what they are being asked to do, despite the thousands of signs telling them what to take out of their bags. Wearing jeans with no pockets, and having a typical women's wallet. That's actually not even a minor inconvenience, it's awful. Seriously. I hate women's fashion. I just need a wallet to carry my cash, ID, and debit card in, and pockets like what men have, which will fit that in my phone. But apparently that's too much to ask, and I, as a woman, am required to pull my back out by carrying a heavy purse with a heavy wallet inside. Meanwhile, men have pockets down to their knees and even have them on their shirts and inside their jackets. Fashion designers, can we please have fashion and function? There has to be some way to do this, and please don't say, just carry it in your bra. That's both uncomfortable as hell and gross. I always misplace something I'm looking for when I need them, but I find it after looking a second time. It could be something not very important like a pair of scissors, or something very important like my wallet or phone. I have to be reminded of the people who made me happy when I was alive and see what they did after I died. Just imagining turning on the TV, realizing people had trouble coping without me, then going back to watching Netflix. While downloading a file over 30 GB in size, there is a chance that the internet will completely die for a singular hour and download, forcing me to restart it. This will also only occur when the download is above 90%. Every time I fart I develop a new form of cancer. Oh, minor inconvenience. I guess every time I go to brush my teeth the toothpaste falls off the first time before I can put it in my mouth. I dunno, this question isn't very thought-provoking in my opinion. It should be asking what Satan tells you is going to happen, not what you say. You could literally pick, my nose will itch once, halfway during the day every day. Everything is placed low enough, if you don't bend a little you would bump your head, but it's not low enough that you would notice that you need to bend, so you essentially beat your head into everything if you are not careful enough. You get to hell and find out you've been there 50 times already and now must pick your 51st, stacking inconvenience for your next life. And then you think, what the other 50 inconveniences I was already living with? No matter where I work, and however high up in that organization I work, someone will come into the office I work in and either close the door when I had it open, or leave the door open when I had it closed. I constantly reassure myself I've locked my car or house door and instantly regret trusting my memory points, so always forgetting you locked the door, left the curling iron on, taken your medication, left the iron on, left the oven on, etc. Point nope, just specifically the lock situation point. Either way, that will annoy anyone. Anytime you go to watch something, there is a 30-second ad you are forced to watch. No subscription to remove ads, no way to avoid the ad, with a small chance that it'll be 2 ads. Since I don't believe in hell, being told that you'll rot in hell by those that believe in it would be their own version of hell. They would wish this upon me for the rest of eternity. Won't happen to me, but it will happen for them. Well, today I went to say, have a nice day to a cashier, and he bet me to it, so instead of saying you two I combined them both and said have you. So I guess I would continue to have mind-to-mouth connection for 10 minutes each day. Every time you scratch an itch, another one flares up within an inch of the one you just scratched. Additionally, the itch is always in a random place and the 10-minute period occurs when you're around other people. I always have a suspiciously large amount of money in my bank accounts, so the bank and government keep calling me about it, but always find that I've paid all my taxes and have a good paper trail for where the money came from, so I just end up spending a couple hours on the phone or talking to officers about it. That feeling of the contact lens not being entirely centered on the eye and the vision becoming a bit blurry for that one eye for a bit. Similar but quite worse, the feeling that the lens went around to the backside of the eye. A random single piece of a jigsaw puzzle appearing somewhere in my house every day. In enough time I would be able to complete every puzzle in existence. It would be minimally inconvenient, but also minimally entertaining. I can never find matching socks. Like, even if I buy them, I get them home immediately afterwards and open the bag and it's one ridiculous little black ankle sock and the other one is a stupendously long candy striped pressure sock from a long ago overseas holiday. I think I've already hit life to then. Chronic neck, back and shoulder pain. Not serious enough to get something done about it, but enough to make it difficult to get up in the morning, have my shoulders or neck lock up at least once a week, and make working physical labor a no-go. And I'm only 23. This. I get those car warranty calls too, but I don't currently own a car. I enjoy messing with those people. I give them the make and model of the first I owned. Sometimes I just make one up too. I argued for a few minutes once saying that they promised to renew the warranty on my 40-year-old car, which I didn't own anymore, and that if they don't I would sue them for false advertising. I didn't a call from them for almost a year. You have a memory of eating the turkey, but in reality you never did, but now you have a deep dark secret that you make sure to keep hidden from the world. And you're constantly worried someone will find out despite it never actually happening. I'll stick with the one I've got. Left instep is larger than my right, so my left shoe is always just tight enough to make it slightly uncomfortable until my shoes are good and wore in. But by that time it's time to get new shoes. My shoes always coming untied. I don't usually have trouble walking. When my shoes are untied it's just kind of annoying when the laces smack against your shoe, and it would be really annoying, but it wouldn't really hinder my ability to do anything. I already get that. Just sitting mindlessly and my shoes will get untied. As someone who loves music and always listens to huge amounts of it, my music player is always a few megabytes too small to put everything I want on my phone at any one time, forcing me to delete something every time I put new stuff onto it. The charger has to be put a certain way to work like when the cable is going out and you have to hold just right to get it to charge. And then you find a way to drape it over something to keep it that way, and when you come back didn't charge anyway. 1. I have to answer a series of questions from my mother-in-law. Doesn't matter what the question is, but my answers will only add more questions, because whatever her question is, she already knows the answer. Her way of communication is to ask an individual that you inevitably answer incorrectly, so she can correct you too. My mother calling me from Florida to tell me how the country has gone to hell started the day Biden was sworn in, and then tell me how she is going vegan, quitting alcohol, and that young people are and have no respect. The conversation ends with a 10 to 15 minute diatribe of her ranting about how her life went wrong and how it's everyone else's fault. 3. My 12 and 9-year-old following me around calling me a boomer. I'm a 39/M. 2-factor authentication for everything you do in daily life. Eating a snack? Gotta make sure it's really you. Had Taco Bell for lunch? Gonna have to wait for that text message before you open those floodgates. Girl about to unzip your fly from some action? No service, cannot authenticate. Please try again later. I already have minor conveniences plaguing me. I have a couple health conditions that affect my general quality of life without being life-threatening. One of the unique ones is visual snow. It's like looking through a staticky TV, but also one with more after images and contrast problems. It's worse at night, because it makes it absolutely impossible to see in the dark, or in low light, so I'm often tripping on stuff I can't see, or trying to feel for an item I drop. I've had people look at me like I'm crazy for not being able to see something in front of me that they can clearly see. It sucks cause it makes stargazing hard, but I'm assuming hell doesn't have meteor showers. Glasses, everything is chill. Until you need to find them. Then you're face down crawling on the floor like Nicki Minaj in a situation where you need to see in order to find the thing in which you need to see. Then your younger sister walks in to find you in the downward dog position to the sky, test is everywhere, and suddenly you're on a registry. And as you attempt to get up you find that your glasses were neatly folded on your bed, obscured by the lines of your sheets. So you chase after her to explain your situation, and just as you two bust into your highly conservative Christian parents' room, your towel falls off while you're holding a screaming girl in your hands, wing wang slanging with reckless abandon. Now you have to explain why you're naked chasing and yelling at a little girl that you're now holding naked, need to justify that you couldn't find the glasses that are currently on your face, and need to do it all before your mom finishes talking to the 911 operator because she never really liked you all that much anyways. You are the reason she decided not to leave your father back in '98, and although she filled her role as a parental unit, she never completely forgave you for forcing her to stay in the marriage. You want to know why you were hauled away in cuffs with a towel wrapped around you and zip tied to your body? Because this is hell. Hell on a unicycle, and nothing will make it better. Thank you for your time. Just one. It's better than now. I've been trying to get my car title registered for 3 weeks now. Bureaucratic nightmare. Everything is shut down because of COVID, except they didn't pump any extra money into the failing courthouse phone system, or the 3 people who answer it. I've been on hold for more than 16 total hours. No answer. Okay, so I'll get rid of all of my current major inconveniences first. Right? My Crohn's disease, lethargy, and body aches. And my being different from the mainstream in a lot of ways. And needing glasses? Cool. I'll keep the symptom of my nose itching from time to time. I'll finally be in a heaven on hell and able to live life to the fullest. Apparently in this life I picked naturally pretty good at things and quick to learn, but prone to bail before anything pans out into anything truly worthwhile. That's just called at Brussels high IQ ADHD person who has tried 100 diff things, lol, wouldn't doubt it. Maybe I should go on drugs or something and actually accomplish stuff. Hey, this happened to me. I have stage 4 colon cancer. My large intestine ruptured twice and I went septic. I needed 3 surgeries because of complications. I spent a week in the ICU on a ventilator and to eyebrows loaded on painkillers. I'm now in a regular room, waiting to go to rehab to relearn how to walk. That's all fine and dandy, because I'm getting better, getting stronger. But I'm convinced that I died on the operating table, because now I have a bag of my own literally glued to my side. Hate poop, and now the rest of my life I have the devil's piping bag and the worst frosting in existence I have to deal with. And it has zero chill. I fart loudly. It just poops in the bag and I have absolutely no control. I can't hold it or anything. I have to burp it when it gets too gassy. And it's bad. It's not like I farted. It's like I farted 20 times and they all got released at once. One day a week I have to eat lunch with him, then do therapy sessions with him for an hour. To balance out all the evil that is bound to plague me for an eternity of literal satanic therapy, I get to use my choice of Hitler, Stalin, or Mao as a human punching bag for that week. The TVs have Hulu, but Satan won't spring for the commercial-free premium subscription. Every commercial break it's the same obnoxious ad 3 times in a row for a bull hair trimmer, and the commercial breaks aren't quite synced up with the shows, so they sometimes cut off characters mid-sentence. But it's not that bad, because there's only a couple of shows you watch on Hulu anyway. Anytime it's a 50 over 50, guess what will happen? You're always wrong. You try to outthink it, and switch your answer, nope, was gonna be the time you were right but you screwed it. FYI, this is my and my father's curse. Pulling on a t-shirt. Wrong way. Line up the tag. It was inside out. USB charger. PFFT. You better stare at it, otherwise it's never going in. I have a few questions. First, with this regular life, is it like an eternal life, or starting again from birth to death with one inconvenience? Can I still die in this new life? If I die in the new life, do I have to pick a new inconvenience to live with? Do the inconveniences stack, or do I live with one at a time? Anyway, I choose that both sides of the pillow are warm. My nose dripping, or being stuffed up constantly. Oh wait, that already happens. Having to play the inside and out game with my dog. It annoyed me when he was alive. Seems appropriate for it to drive me crazy for eternity. Bonus, I would get to spend eternity with my sweet, yet annoying dog. This is the end of the video. Thank you guys for staying with me till the end. If you enjoyed watching this, you might as well watch these too.